Now I'm just what you want. I look like you want me to, and I can't tell what's true, cause my world's made up of fake news, yeah. I'm realigning every facet of the space I'm in. I'm customizing all the curves that give the shape I'm in. I'm redesigning all of me so maybe I fit in. Now I'm not whining, but I fucking hate this world we're in. It's just not the kind of place I wanna be. It don't got the kind of rules I wanna see. I feel caught with no shot, so fuck not. Won't live inside your robot. Not like this, cause I don't think you really know who I am, or what I like, or why I don't fit inside your universe, cause I always come out feeling worse. No. You don't know me, despite all your data says. These ads I confess, they must know I'm depressed, yeah. And I don't think like that, I'm not like you. Fuck you, I'm not a stat, I'm misconstrued. I'm taking my life back from all your garbage I scroll through. Not like this, cause I don't think you really know who I am, or what I like, or why I don't fit inside your universe, cause I always come out feeling worse. And I don't think like that, I'm not like you. Fuck you, I'm not a stat, I'm misconstrued. I'm taking my life back from all your garbage I scroll through. So I hit start like this, and the world loads like that, and I blow harsh with a kiss. I'm metamorphosing into a cat. Now I race around like glitch, find the time to look a name on Twitch, switching lights in my brain. Yeah, Pokemon's got me bewitched. I'm fucking with fans, trying to make them glow, and we take pics like this, and I like the pics so much, I'm gonna pin them up home. Now they can reach me by phone. I am doing this on my own. This kingdom will be overthrown. I'm realigning every facet of the space I'm in. I'm customizing all the curves that give the shape I'm in. I'm redesigning all of me so maybe I fit in. Now I'm not whining, but I fucking hate this world we're in. It's just not the kind of place I wanna be. It don't got the kind of rules I wanna see. I feel caught with no shot, so fuck not. Won't live inside your robot. Won't live inside your robot. Live inside your robot. I'm not your robot. I'm not a robot.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How are we doing? So a couple things. First of all, potentially a longer stream than normal. Second of all, if anybody streamed on Abstract, please let me know. I can't get their thing to work at all. I don't know what's wrong with their keys. You have to like come up with the title. You have to have like a stream key. I don't know if you're supposed to restart it all the time. You have like a start stream. Typically, you just throw it in on the streaming software and you're good. I can't figure it out. So if you've had any experience on Abstract streaming, please let me know. Would love to use your knowledge. So today, we're going over the markets, the timeline. Wow, what a weekend. I've gotten about 50 posts that we're going to go over initially, and then we have probably another 75 plus to go after that, so we're going to have to go through an unbelievably large amount of things. RDL, good morning, good morning. Hope you are doing well on this Monday. So, with this, and this is a clip for a bag of chips. I've realized that like if there's just something on my desk, I just like randomly grab it and mess with it. Anyway, yo, Kaiser, what's up, what's up? How we doing? So, first of all, we are seeing more and more brands getting within the Web3 space, and it's all about fandom. We talk about that, and so take yourself for an example, right? If you go out there, and I'm assuming all of you have an X account, you go out there and you make a post. What is the likelihood that somebody is going to engage with that post? Well, it depends what it's about, first of all. And Janix, what's up? Yo, long time no see. How we doing? And what you will notice, though, is for any sports announcements, right? Let's use NBA as an example, because this is a great one. You'll probably follow a couple people that are in the NBA or into watching the NBA, and you'll see across the entire comment section, people making jokes, people making memes, and you're like, damn, there is a massive fandom around there. But for you, you're like, damn it, like, I only get some if I talk about something that the other person really cares about. Maybe that's NBA or something else. But for these brands that have that engagement, they want to be able to connect in a bigger way. So this came out 3 days ago. And it says Manchester United on Web3 and blockchain in sports.
And then we go further by utilizing new technologies that resonate with fans coming into the sport afresh. So a lot of the work that I focus on, it kind of relates to your trends. Web3, utilizing new technology and blockchain technology to offer something a little bit deeper. And then also gaming is a big passion of ours and a big focus as we try to, again, tying into your third trend, Kike, fans want to interact and they want to be part of the conversation. You mentioned some of the platforms on social. We've been focused on Discord as a new platform where it's community driven and fans have the opportunity to drive the conversation, and we look to support that. So yeah, we engage fans in numerous different ways. It's super important, and I think you've always got to be thinking about the next trend if you're going to make sure that your younger fans in particular stay with the course with you.
Oh, that's kind of interesting coming from a big wig such as that. So who else joins that bucket? And if that's the trend, we know people love hopping on trends. So I can't get abstract streaming to work for the life of me, which again, public service announcement, somebody tell me how this works, because I can't get it. But with that being said, it's funny because this is a conversation that has that comparison game. How many other people have come through and try to do Web3 streaming? Do you remember the token? I don't remember it off the top of my head, but for some reason my first reference is saying Tether, but it's not Tether. But I want to say that it started with a T, and it was a streaming coin. This wasn't Valhalla. So on the screen, it's a tweet saying, so Valhalla wanted to make the Twitch of Web3, but looks like Abstract basically did that, and they didn't even have to launch an NFT collection and extract millions of dollars to do so. True. And that's where it goes back to a lot of NFT mints kind of being like a Kickstarter for people. But the different streaming, whether it be Valhalla, whether it be the coin that I can't think of off the top of my head, if you guys happen to remember what it is, would love you for it. I have to do some research, but it's weird that a lot of things just haven't come to fruition in that front. Now, before the chaos within the market, I just want to remind you on January 31st, which was, 3-4 days ago, a CryptoPunk, a hooded one, of course, sold for 162 Ethereum or $546,000. That's not a light purchase, but wow. Also in the news before the market crash, I don't know why this came out of absolutely nowhere, but Decrypt basically slamming the people that were in charge of putting the dog with Hap coin on the sphere, saying that that's not happening. So that's totally random. And then Otto's pointing out that WIF started dumping minutes before the news came out, and that's something that happens across all crypto when major news is about there. But the Dog WIF Coin official account made comment to it saying the WIF Sphere organizers have been in ongoing negotiations with various parties to collaborate on the sphere and placement. Since the WIF team is not a corporate entity, the organizers are collaborating with an established brand to execute this advertisement. So it's going to be like a tie-in with somebody else. Timeline has been agreed upon by affiliated parties. If by any chance the plan is not executed, then the contract will be voided and contributions will be returned. There is no intent to mislead any parties. This is awesome. This is getting put out there just to kind of, quell the fears, if you will, where we have the OpenSea CEO making comments. We highlighted that last week if you want to watch that stream, but it's cool that we're having rumors squashed. Big news, though. Wow. Coming out of Igloo Inc., which is the partner, kind of bigger entity of Abstract, Pudgy Penguins, everything around there. Igloo Inc. is committed to pushing the boundaries of what the institutional and commercial adoption of crypto looks like. As part of this mission, we are working on the first step in bringing new inflows to Pengu and Pudgy Penguin NFTs. Okay. The aim for this initiative is to provide institutional investors with easy access to invest in one of the most recognizable brands in crypto. So the rumors start, or the assumption is this is going to be an ETF. So I'd like to ask you the question. Would you buy a Igloo Inc. or just Pudgy Penguin ETF? Now, if you're somebody that's into the Pudgy Penguin ecosystem, you might be like, okay, cool. I mean, a lot of us are in Web3 and like brands, as I've said before. If I was going to pick between, I don't know, let's say like Supreme and like Doodles for merch, even though I know Doodles had the shenanigans the other day, I'd probably be like, all right, listen, I want to support the Web3 brands. But how far does that conversation go? What is going to be offered within that? Is it through the toys? Are the games going to be that big? I mean, an ETF seems like a huge deal. And if it goes sideways by any chance, then that feels like it's going to be one of those stories that keep getting brought up, similar to Board Apes of these Board Apes were worth $400,000 and now they're worth $1. Or Justin Bieber bought this ape for $600,000 and now it's worth $50. And it's like all the stupid headlines. Now, Pudgy Penguins don't necessarily have that negative rap associated with them whatsoever, but I think that it's interesting just trying to look at it from like a broad scope. Now, Web3 is, in fact, changing things, and they are going to be offering so much money out to people, it's going to be insane. Now, when I say Web3, that's encompassing a whole bunch of different things, but here's a great example. So Spike, who is a content creator, signed with Complexity at a point, and now they are completely rebranding Spike's avatar's social media presence to be Board Ape related. Ape Chain paid for my ape, linked up with famous TikTokers Vexbolts, TFG, and Yeasloth to help me pick out an MYAC. No other community matches the energy of the apes. Now, there was FaZe Swag, who was in FaZe, but then FaZe did a bunch of cuts, and then he wasn't on there anymore, but he was a part of the first Dookie Dash tournament. But he was somebody who also was from the esports team. They got in, bought an ape. Spike, this seems like a little bit more paid for lack of a better phrasing, because it seemed like Sway did that based off of winning that prior tournament and having like a whole bunch of extra funds to be able to do so. But Spike just feels like, all right, they're out paying for this. So what happens beyond this? If you're familiar with Overwatch, Valorant, there's a player called Baby Bay. I noticed that he was out shilling some Web3 games the other day, and we're just starting to see that trickle of esports connecting with Web3. So this is when stuff starts happening kind of around the tariffs and whatnot. So we're gonna kindly brush on certain components of it because it's obviously affected the market. But breaking, and this was back on the 31st, Canada is prepared to offer pandemic-level financial support to workers and businesses if the U.S. imposes tariffs. Officials emphasize that workers should not bear the cost of U.S. decisions, referencing past COVID-19 responses and modern for potential aid model. Okay, so if this happens per se, it's like, okay, so does that mean that like stimulus is going to happen? Where else does that? Obviously, the conversations around Mexico and Canada. Mexico, that seems to be sorted. There's like a weird noise going on if the internet goes out. Apologies. But Canada apparently has a conversation at 3 p.m. or another announcement. So that's in like 45 minutes. If we're still streaming then, maybe we'll talk about whatever happens. But we'll touch on some different parts about this. But again, just the conversation of these things are going to be impacting the market. So Charles Hoskinson, the guy who was one of the founding members of Ethereum, doing Cardano, now getting into meme coins, but saying, I'll be releasing throughout the year exclusive content for Charles Media token holders. So we do have somewhat of a negative connotation to celebrities coming into the space, but the concept in theory is that these notable people don't have to deal with an intermediary and are able to sell their value directly to fans, where, you know, in theory here on Twitch, if you happen to subscribe to the channel, there's a cut that goes to Twitch. Same on YouTube. If you happen to subscribe, donate, whatever, there's a cut between, where with crypto, that's not the case, and you can kind of support directly. So we'll see how that shapes up. Now, with some goodish things happening, there's always some bad. Boxer Ryan Garcia launches a meme coin. 40% of all of the token supply will go to charity. So they say. The token immediately tanks 90%, and then Ryan deletes his posts. I hate it here. I hate it here. What are we doing? Brad Garlinghouse from XRP. Suffice it to say, Q4 2024, and last month, 2 months ago, I guess now, was absolutely one for XRP history books. 5 different firms filed for XRP-related ETPs in the US, plus 4 more this month. Ripple USD launched, hitting 100 million market cap within a month, and on-chain XRPL DEX trading volume reached 1 billion in Q4. More pretty incredible stats on your quarterly XRP markets below. Now, continuing on to let me rephrase that. I'm going to get to a video eventually, and maybe we'll just skip it, but for now, it's not here. But Dave Portnoy, if you're familiar with him, he's the guy behind Barstool Sports, always in the news for takes on things, also does the pizza reviews. You might have seen him. He posted a video this morning saying, I'm making a big announcement, and it was that he bought $1 million worth of XRP. So while the markets went to crap, there was some massive players buying. We have some good news, generally speaking, about the market. And then tomorrow, apparently there's some big news coming out of the States, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Or we can right now for part of it. The state-by-state race for Bitcoin strategic reserve. And this is a great graph because it actually shows out how it is, from the public endorsement to the bill introduced to the committee approval, House Senate approval, and then signed into law. Arizona and Utah leading the way. But look at all these states jumping into the race. Kind of crazy when you see it in this sort of fashion. From Saigar, there is no AI meta. It is quite literally the future of humanity. Everything in your life will be drastically changed by AI. Sure, most of these current AI coins will eventually fade, but we are going to see continuous flows of new AI projects and ideas over the next several years. Some of these will have tokens associated with them, some of them will not. In any case, the AI trend is here for the long term. And I very much agree with that. And we're starting to kind of realize, okay, crypto, AI, the internet, this is why people years ago said that this was all going to come to a massive head. And you might not be using various AI tools out there, but those of you that are probably like, okay, yeah, you know what? Some of these things are lifesavers and going to massively impact. So Charles Hoskinson does a token. We have Ryan Garcia, one of the influencer boxers, do a token. And why not have another one? Chuck Liddell saying posting contract address in 30 minutes. I'm excited for this. So if this is your first time seeing it, you'd probably think that he launched a meme coin. Well, he just linked the contract address of the Giga meme coin, which was already out there. It's pretty big, kind of a hilarious move. Obviously, you have people that go out and have like super negative reactions, not realizing. So like Income Shark says, rich people asking for poor people to give them money. Love to see our space turn into a joke. And again, no research, just making the comment while people are saying it's not actually how it looks. They just posted a token or a contract address for something that's already out, and then it's kind of funny. Okay, so for the other side, a couple of thoughts with this. If you missed the stream on Friday evening, we didn't do like an X feed, but we did go live for the other side world record breaking attempt where they tried to have, I think it was like 1,700 people in a single instance. And it was interesting. Some of the takes that I have, I guess, regarding it is number one, Board Ape has like 1 million followers on X. Other side is 200,000. The Discords are full of people. Think of the amount of people within Web3. And we're needing to find 1,700 people. There's no token gating or anything. Yo, Aries One, how we doing? Yo, love to see you, sir. And I'm flabbergasted by it because this is something you just, you click on a browser. For people that own a Mac, okay, sure, they couldn't get on, but they couldn't get 1,700 people. And I'm like, there's no way that we have this much of a following as the Board Ape Yacht Club and couldn't pull in those numbers. And this was on top of certain notable names and streamers being associated with this. So that, to be honest, made me kind of leave it feeling a little bit bearish. I'm not going to lie, because it doesn't make sense. How in the hell are we not able to do that? Now, other takeaways, and as I've mentioned before, I am not convinced that the majority of Web3 are gamers. You'll have people that are active on the timeline. Maybe they tweet a lot talking about games and gives the impression that they're all gamers, but from playing one of the other side experiences before, jumping on spaces and being like, I don't really know how to feel about that, I realized from the conversation with others is, yeah, a lot of people aren't like native gamers, so this kind of experience when it's just chaos is not bad to them. I think the gunplay feels kind of off. I think the graphics for something that, there's been like $1 billion purely on secondary plus that have been purchased across other sides, Sandbox, Decentraland, etc. It feels like it's not at the spot that one would think. Now, from a technological standpoint of having that many people in a single instance is awesome, but I'm a little fearful that the gameplay just doesn't feel all of that. And then Garga putting out there, the capped under 1,400 users, so they're about 200 away from breaking that record. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a heads up because this happened to me, and this was with the Zen Ledger tax software. This was one of the ones that were early and got a lot of notoriety, but it was for US only. And I realized that, and so I purchased a year of it back in like 2022. And realized, okay, like this is only for US. It doesn't really work when you're trying to input things for Canadians. But then I noticed that I got a subscription renewal on January 31st of 2025. And I'm like, hold on a second, what are we doing? So if you happen to have ever purchased Zen Ledger and canceled, I'm apparently not the only one that's had this happen to, but check your cards. You can refund within 14 days. You're still within a window. They responded to me within 3 hours. Great customer support. Have no idea why this happened in the first place, but just a little bit of a heads up in that regard. Okay, people making meme coins. Still freaking in the news. God damn it. Joey Moose. Haley Hawk Tua Welch launched a meme coin, made millions, and vanished for 8 weeks after getting canceled for the scam. Her last podcast, which was on December 3rd, It was called How to Avoid Getting Canceled. What are we doing? What are we doing? Pudgy Penguins and Line Friends. We are so excited to partner with Line Friends Mini, one of the largest IPs in South Korea and Asia. So Line Friends are the characters with like the bear. There's some other ones within there. This is kind of like the, I guess, Cool Cats before Cool Cats, if you will. Very, very recognizable. If I click on Line Friends, will it be a little bit more? You've probably seen the memes. This is one of like the most naturally occurring memes you've probably seen on the timeline if you're active online. But yeah, kind of cool that Pudgy Penguins are continuing to have some massive news. So at the beginning of the stream, we talked about if you were the NBA and how you have a whole bunch of fans responding to you, and if you're just your tweets sometimes don't get a whole lot of engagement. And I want to relate this back to LG Doucette here. It says, the message is clear. To get likes on X, I just need to tweet about Top Shot and Ballers, which is a collection that was on Flow. Stuck in 2021 for eternity. And it's hilarious because he's been tweeting more about Top Shot, Ballers, just things in general. But LG Doucette made a name for himself over being involved with NBA Top Shot back in the day. And similar to myself, I used to stream that all the time. And a lot of people want to go with what they love. They want to go with what they love and interact with it. So, it feels bad once you kind of move on from something. But remember, people followed you for a reason. Yo, John Lemon, the dog. Yo, the doggy dog. What's going on? I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing? Gary Doge, loving the new updates. Great research. Hell yeah. So I got like 3 tweets left, and then I'm going to have to like pause for a second. We're going to have to go through 105 other tabs to bring up here. You really want Top Shot to make a comeback? It's so funny that everybody has that same notion. There's continuation of like big sales on Top Shot, but I feel the old guard is very, very fearful of that. Very, very fearful of wanting to get back in, things not working, them not, respecting the ability to limit collection sizes and everything else. Okay, so Charles Hoskinson says this about February. Let me redo that. That was brutal. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Hoskinson.
February is going to be a very crazy month. We got some stuff going on. Can't talk about it now, but you're going to see. It's going to be fun. February.
We got some crazy things happening in February. Now, did they mean a complete shellacking of the market? Probably not. But again, we have big news tomorrow. We'll get more into that momentarily. So this tweet, you would think, okay, well, this is from today or yesterday. Not the case. But 11.84 million ETH long liquidated, and this was on the 1st. So 2 days ago, when the market first kind of took a dump, and then it did it again. But look at the amount of leverage that's within the market. 11.84 million. Somebody was long on. Unbelievable. So talking about founders right quick, it does seem odd that we have Gary V popping up occasionally, where I felt like he swept some collections a while ago or was talking about NFTs, and people talked about Gary for a day, and then I haven't seen him since. But I saw Tim Livingston here saying that Gary, who owns like this Genaddy address, was out sweeping VFriends. And I'm just looking at this and 6,000, 6,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 6,000, 4,000, basically 6,000, 6,000, 4,000, 5,000. Holy smokes, people are paying a lot of cash for this. So the question's like, hold on, how much does Gary V make in a year? And I don't know the answer to that, but crazy to look at nonetheless. Okay, so I am going to play the music right quick. We will be right back. I'm going to bring up all the tabs and we're going to get cooking. Sounds good? Very nice. I'll be right back.
Now I'm just what you want. I look like you want me to, and I can't tell what's true, cause my world's made up of fake news, yeah. I'm realigning every facet of this space I'm in. I'm customizing all the curves that give the shape I'm in. I'm redesigning all of me so maybe I fit in. Now I'm not whining, but I fucking hate this world we're in. It's just not the kind of place I wanna be. It don't got the kind of rules I wanna see. I feel caught with no shot, so fuck not. Won't live inside your robot. Not like this, cause I don't think you really know who I am, or what I like, or why I don't fit inside your universe, cause I always come out feeling worse. No, yeah, you don't know me, despite all your not like you. Fuck you, I'm not a stat. I'm misconstrued. I'm taking my life back. But from all your garbage I scroll through. Not like this, cause I don't think you really know who I am or what I like or why I don't fit inside your universe. Cause I always come out feeling wonderful. And I don't think like that. I'm not like you. Fuck you, I'm not a stat. I'm misconstrued. I'm taking my life back. But from all your garbage I scroll through. So I hit start like this, and the world loads like that. And I blow harsh with a kiss. I'm metamorphosing into a cat. Now I race around like glitch. Find the time to look a name on Twitch. Switching lights in my brain, yeah. Pokemon's got me bewitched. I'm fucking with fans, trying to make them glow. And we take pics like this, and I like the pics so much, I'm gonna pin them up home. Now they can reach me by phone. I am doing this on my own. This kingdom will be overthrown. I'm realigning every facet of the space I'm in. I'm customizing all the curves that give the shape I'm in. I'm redesigning all of me so maybe I fit in. Now I'm not whining, but I fucking hate this world we're in. It's just not the kind of place I wanna be. It don't got the kind of rules I wanna see. I feel caught with no shot, so fuck not. Well, let inside your robot. Well, let inside your robot. Well, let inside your robot. I'm not your robot. I'm not a robot.
Gated. All right, we're back. Yo, Janix. So it's Von _ Schiller. So it's VON _ Schiller. That was like my cousin's name, I think, on Instagram, like forever ago, and I stole it, or they made a comment under it. I forget exactly the details, but I was like, that's kind of catchy. And I used to stream RuneScape, even though it was like to basically nobody, but that's where it came from initially. All right, so let's get back into the news, guys. If you're tuning in for the first time, what's up? My name is Schiller. We talk about NFTs daily. It's fun. I mean, it's fun when the market's doing all right. It's not as great when it's it's friggin' horrible. But John Lemon, Janix, Gary Doge, Mr. Harry Swan, Kaiser, RDL, if you guys are still here, thanks so much. And if you're in the chat, feel free to say hi. Okay. Pump Fun tweeting survive while pulling out 100 million clips into stables is sure something. And you forget for a second, yeah, everybody's all about Web3 decentralization, everything else, and then like the protocols that are all building this stuff's like, yeah, we're pulling out the stables. It is kind of hilarious, Janix. Appreciate the follow over on Twitch. And Mike Dudas, this is a great point. So in quotes, I don't know if I've ever seen crypto sentiment this bad. This is everybody in your timeline over the weekend, right? Like everybody's making stupid posts about things. I mean, even for myself, listen, you got to get in on the fun. What the hell did I post? I think it was a meme of like a Keck W and then another Keck W. Yeah, this is the cool cat version. I put like that emote of the guy, and that's that's what the cool cat meme generator spit out as the Keck W person. Haven't gotten to it, but a million liquidated from cryptocurrency market 20 hours ago ended up being 2 billion, and allegedly it was 8 to 10 billion, but it just wasn't posted out there. And yeah, okay, so we'll get to the other stuff. All right, enough of that. So that was the sentiment, right? And this is Mike's response to it. We had 75 developers left. Sol was $8. Gary Gensler was suing us, and half the industry was wrecked by half a dozen major frauds just 2 short years ago. And that's a great point. If we think about how absolutely terrible things were 2 years ago, and then you zoom out on the chart to a year plus, sunshines and rainbows, 100%. So Burnt Toast is giving away a doodle. If you haven't seen, this is the new CEO of Doodles, the original artist for it, but they are giving out a doodle, and you only have 10,000 other people to compete with. So good luck, have fun on that. But again, if you're wanting to get involved with it, it's at Burnt Toast on X. And NFT collections. This just a slightly different angle, slightly different traits. That's NFTs for us. We absolutely love it. So this is the one thing that I absolutely hate about all this tariff talk is now like sports anthems. It's now like Canada versus US, and all these rivals are happening where now there's like booing at games. Guys, listen. I don't care where you're from. We're still friends. Just throwing that one out there. Miles saying a week ago it was DeepSeek. A few days ago was the FOMC. Today it's tariffs. There will be something else tomorrow. Headlines shouldn't affect your strategy. Head down, block out the noise, and execute. And that's what I've kept saying, not necessarily about the situation right now, but if you go back to a stream a week ago, a year ago, whatever's talked about at the time is completely irrelevant today for 90% of the things that were talked about. And last year, I vividly remember talking about how India was very negative towards crypto. There was a lot of regulatory concerns. And apparently, India is reviewing crypto position due to global changes, senior official says. India is reviewing its stance on cryptocurrencies due to shifting attitudes towards the virtual asset in other countries. So somebody's got to take the lead. A senior government official told Reuters on Sunday. Now, it just dawned on me. Do you guys remember Kevin O'Leary, the guy from Shark Tank that is Canadian, but he's on like a lot of US news, and that's like pissed off some people right now saying, oh, that guy's like Canadian, but he speaks. Anyway. Points are relevant, but I remember a few years ago when Canada had kind of the regulations like sorted, we had like Bitcoin ETFs, we had crypto ETFs, you could buy it on like the stock market. We had all these things that the US did ahead of time, but of course we're like a smaller market in that regard. And I vividly remember there was a conversation or insights about how Kevin O'Leary was going to talk with U.S. officials, and I think even other countries beyond the U.S., about setting up the regulatory framework using Canada as an example. And so that just kind of made me remember about it. So kind of cool to see that other countries are looking at doing something now that, again, it looks nicer overall. So Renga, I just wanted to highlight the artwork here. They've updated their collection, I think, or they have some kind of burn. I didn't love the original collection, to be totally honest, but some of these newer ones are really sweet. And I know, are we in it for the art? Are we in it for the yield? Are we in it for just good vibes? But I think they're kind of cool. So I wanted to give those a little bit of a shout out. X accounts keep getting compromised left, right, and center. Like, I just assume that it's going to happen. Daily Mail online X account presumably hacked, promoted a Solana-based token. I think this has like multiple millions of followers. Why is X so compromised? I'm trying to think, is it actually the fact that people just that loose with security concerns, or is it just a complete compromise? And I can't tell. I really can't tell what it is at this point. So Meme Land, if you guys remember the Captains, kind of a big Web2/Web3 project collection, has announced a new token called the Pain Token. Duly timed. The Captains may airdrop an allocation of these tokens, but the price isn't increasing. Does this mean there is no interest in it? And there's 3,000 holders, about 135 ETH volume. This is for like the NFT collection itself. I remember when these were approaching like 8 to 9 ETH. I haven't seen it too much on the timeline, but I have noticed that more and more people are talking about new tokens because Captains and that whole ecosystem has meme, right? Now they're doing Pain. If we go down the list, Board Ape Yacht Club had the Ape coin, but now Ape Chain's kind of its own thing. And we have the founders talking about that they're working on a new token potentially that's involved with AI that's for Board Apes and other side holders. If you're in the Featureverse community, you know about all the kind of tokens, if you know what I'm saying. But more and more multiple tokens are coming out from every single different ecosystem. It's super interesting. How cool is that? Crypto is pricing in the Monday stock market dump while traditional markets are closed. If you were heavy in stocks and you saw the bloodbath in crypto, theoretically, the first thing you would do is just have like an order to sell everything. Would you not? I feel like that's the case. And I don't think we've seen these massive dumps to this extent that have like trickled down to the stock market until now. But I wonder how many people are going to feel comfortable jumping into like trying to like day trade certain things based off of this. And then on Monday, when they open back up, we can take part in that dump again because we're correlated to the traditional markets. It's fun, ain't it? True. And then Luka Doncic, totally not related to Web3, but do you guys see that trade on the weekend? Holy smokes. One of the things that I absolutely hated and realized like after I've already bought a whole bunch of jerseys, because I used to love collecting jerseys from various athletes and whatnot, but how many of them get traded somewhere else? Something goes bad. Maybe it's traded on like not positive terms, and so there's like a huge issue with it. Maybe the player goes and does something like illegal and on the news for that, and then you get publicly shamed for friggin' wearing the jersey out in public. It's not worth it. Yeah, it's not worth it. Don't buy the jersey. What do I do? It's crazy. So I've realized just to never, ever, ever do that ever again. And yeah, the trade was insane. Harry, you're broken. John, you thinking it's a wild trade too? Totally unexpected. And I think the majority of people had that same thought, right? Like we have two masterminds in the NBA, at least player-wise, one of them being the absolute face of it, and the other one kind of playing second fiddle to LeBron. However, watching the games, Anthony Davis is the real deal, 100%. But now the conversation spurs to, all right, are they actually going to get the championship done now? What's the timeline for it? What is the Lakers going to do? Because they have no big bodies, like, at all. At all. What are we doing? Insane. Okay, so I'm bringing up more tweets, and I don't know why, but I look at this. So MT knows what's going on. I don't know why, but I bookmarked the Cavs absolutely shellacking the Mavs at halftime. I know they were missing half their team, but they do that massive trade. First game after it, they're just getting beaten to an absolute pulp. And I think it was one of the only games that was live at the time. And it was just... It was good. Lakers will find a way to win. I don't think this really gets the Lakers all that much closer to winning a chip. I mean, I agree on the Lakers side, but I mean, Luka also went to the, those are the finals. Not too bad of a deal that way, for sure. But I'm curious, do you guys think that Dallas won the trade, or do you think that the Lakers won the trade? What is the thoughts on that component? And I'm just going to scroll through here. Just in Bitcoin falls 95,000. This was yesterday, of course. Easily one of the worst months I've ever experienced in crypto. That's kind of funny, but fair. There's a watches platform that's like, if you bought a watch last week, you're actually in the green. Yeah, so 2 billion liquidated in 24 hours was the post that went out. But again, more were there. I know that nothing's on the screen. I'm just trying to see what I want to bring out to... we'll talk about that one because that's a bullish regime. I can't believe Dallas went to the finals. Mavs lost the trade. They also lost a good majority of their fan base. Yeah, so people are bringing like coffins. They're like protesting outside of the stadium. I don't know if you guys seen some of the things this morning, but it's oh my goodness. Insanity. Oh, yo, John Lemon, I have one of your tweets saved here. Yo, not bad. Okay, this is good. I didn't even know you were going to come by. A couple more. So, excuse, I'm not going to play the music again. I don't want to put you to the side. But I've realized there was one time that I was watching a streamer that was sort of doing what I'm doing, where they were like filling time and like not paying attention. And it was like, just put the be right back screen. Shut up. Like, you're just rambling for absolutely no reason. And that's fair, but I'm going to stick with it because maybe it's content or maybe it's not. Indian government announced so this was another thing when we just talked about the India government a second ago. India government announces undeclared crypto gains will face up to 70% penalty starting in 2025 with a look back period of 48 months. So this is a big thing where I feel it's not really discussed at all. Like that's massive, right? Like that headline is huge. But I don't really see the notions or bad things on the timeline, except for, when Stoner Cats or the SEC puts out like a Wells notice. Obviously pay your taxes, and I do that as well. But it is weird that that's one of the first times that I've seen it highlighted on major news of like what the penalties are going to be. Because, I mean, I don't even know what that would be like in your jurisdiction. Girlfriend just texted me that her favorite coffee shop was closed, and I simply reply, no. Instead of telling her I'm down 20 years of living expenses in the last hour. That's a really good tweet, not gonna lie. The amount of people that were like faking that they got liquidated though is hilarious. Like you go on the timeline, and if you're not familiar with people like memeing, you're gonna get caught. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stories. Do we want to get a little bit more? Oh, yeah, and then 6 hours ago, Canada appears to have misunderstood the language in Trump's executive order. I don't exactly know what the hell that means. We're 20 minutes away from like that 3 p.m. meeting, so that should be interesting if we do get to that. Surprised how much we've gotten through today. This is solid. Coinbase receives regulatory approval to launch crypto services in the United Kingdom. That's huge. Over on Robinhood, you can now bet on the Super Bowl. We have prediction markets coming on through on that front. Yeah, okay, cool. We might end it on those ones. Okay, so we got like another like 15 stories to go through. Let's go. Lakers def won the trade in the future. Okay, noted. John Lemon. Spaghetti, yo. Down so bad, my kid is selling our fruit at the road. I met Captain Trippy at the first Ape Fest. Good guy. Things you don't need to be successful. Good grades, a college degree, or money. Things you need to be successful. Ability to take risks, discipline, that dog in you. Talking about a crypto-specific post? Hell yeah. So this is also what's happening too for anybody that's not I realize, being a Canadian, you have like news you probably won't see elsewhere. And so all the stores on like this tariff talk have put up signs saying buy Canadian instead. I have never experienced patriotism to the level that I've seen in the past 48 hours. And not to like overblow it, but I'm seeing people across multiple social media accounts. They're making groups, they're DMing people, they're letting insights. It's all kosher in a sense of trying to get everybody to rally around this. And it's crazy, crazy, crazy to watch what's happening with it. Just another example where labels are getting stuck on stuff of this is made in Canada. On-ramp funds to crypto from my bank account for the first time in 6 months today. And that was yesterday when things took the original shellacking. I'm never going to time the tops or bottoms, but if there is anything I've learned, it's to buy when I feel uncomfortable with it. I really think that the reactions to all this is super overblown. I think, I'm no expert. I probably shouldn't even be talking about half the stuff, but I think we'll kind of see if things do end up going into action, which apparently it's supposed to tomorrow. If it does, obviously that's not great. But we'll kind of see what happens at the time. But a lot of people are seeing this as an opportunity, while other people are not. All right, John Lemon. Not going to lie, even after this big dip, I'm still not touching most meme coins. I feel like that would be terrifying. Imagine having a whole bunch of like these brand new meme coins, the market going absolute to crap, and you're like, all right, how do I justify buying this right now? Is it going to go up? What's the new meme? Because that's the thing, right? With these new memes, there's something every single day. So as long as you can be active. Could be a solid swing trade, but I'm not holding any of that junk long term unless it's an outlier team or community. Which, I mean, the question around like team or community and a lot of stuff. And the other day I talked about how, don't trust everybody within the space because there's so many things to do. There's legitimately so many things to do where the attention span is going to get cut for the 90% of people. They have an idea, they want to do it, they start doing it, realize, it's a little bit harder than I thought. All right, on to the next thing. It's crazy. More liquidations than March of 2022. Take from this as you wish. All leverage is officially out. People got wiped on leverage. Okay, so this is kind of weird. I don't know who paid this person for the Grammys, but they were wearing like the dog with hat chain and the hat stays on. I don't know. It doesn't. I think they're like trying to make it hit. It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit the way that one would hope. Wallet holding 40 million in ETH just decided that now is a good time to start sweeping BAYC. Do you follow the wallets? You say, yeah, I'm bullish on that too. Or do you just wait and hold that ETH? Crazy to think about though, as we have had a bounce within the market, that 40,000, how much did that dip? How much does it come up? Have we seen Board Ape recover comparatively to ETH? That's a question for a lot of people. Do you hold crypto? Do you hold NFTs? Trump-backed World Liberty Financial's portfolio is down over 21% for its $242 million crypto investment made between January 19th and 31st. So as that was a few days ago, I mean, my initial reaction is like, I mean, nobody's happy about being down that much. And you would think that you're buying that sort of position knowing that like solid news is coming. Maybe they tricked all of us, but maybe something big is happening in the news tomorrow. Anime is the top performing listing on Binance for 2025 so far. So Zeroboro, Swams, Bio, Pippin, Sol V, the Trump token, AIXBT, Vine, all these things are down horrendously, which has now sparked, you've probably seen this on the timeline if you're active on X. Now everybody's making comments about the fact that this is what it's like to get listed on a centralized exchange. Before, you were begging for it. You were like, this is going to bring in buyers. It's going to move the tokens. And so far, I mean, granted, we had a huge shellacking in the market. I like that word, shellacking. And so does that change the notion around listings? I don't think so. I think it's short term. I think people are still massively bullish on Binance, Coinbase, whatever. It gets more people into it in general. I don't think there's necessarily anything bad with it. But it does, I'd say, all right, sure, maybe question some of the things that are listed if it doesn't have sustainability. Like the VVV thing, like that token came out and within 24 hours, it got listed. It went up like 4,000% out of nowhere. People got airdrops and when anything's up that massive, most people are like, yeah, I'm going to take a little bit off the table. And that's seemingly what happened. So the 2 billion liquidation that you've seen on the timeline is allegedly incorrect. Bybit founder estimates 24-hour liquidations have been $8 to $10 billion, not the 2.3 billion CoinGlass is reporting. Liquidations on Bybit alone were 2.1 billion, but API capped how much data was sent through to platforms like CoinGlass. So if we just went through $8 to $10 billion of liquidations, I would generally agree that all the leverage is out. So going into tomorrow, we'll save some of the tweets for then, but we'll also see what happens on this announcement here in 15 minutes. I hope you are well. I hope you enjoyed this stream. John Lemon, Kaiser, Mr. Harry, Swan, Janix, appreciate the double follow, even though you were before. Gary Doge, good to see you. Where the hell is T-Doge, yo? We got the double Doge in the house. That's what we love to see. And RDL, thanks guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Have yourself a good one. Peace.